I'm going to give you an interaction of what the process is when you come to the dealership. And then I'm going to show you some of the things that we go through to make the recommendations that we make, so you can see that it's just not people throwing parts at you. It's just not people throwing things at you. So we can actually walk through an entire, from beginning to end, when you come to the dealership. So you're not left out in the dark anymore. I don't know how many people have done this for you, but we're going to do this interaction right now. I'm going to walk you through this process and show you how we give the recommendations, so you better understand that we're not just trying to steal your money or make aimless recommendations. We're going to play just like I drove in the service drive. I'm driving up. I'm in front of the office here. I get out of my car. Service writer is sitting at the desk. I get out of my car. I walk into the service door, and I'm greeted by the service advisor.
How you doing today, sir? What can I do for you?
Good. I'm kind of concerned because I hear some kind of noise with the front, like left wheel of my car or something like that. Just want you guys to check it out if you can.
Okay, yeah, we can check that out for you. I do have a diagnosis charge. Just in case you don't have any warranties or anything, we do charge $150 for diagnosis. That covers the complete check over of the vehicle, make sure that concern is really there. And then if you choose to do the repair and you don't have a warranty, that cost of that diagnosis does get rolled into the cost of the repair.
So basically what you're saying is, if there's something wrong and I choose to have you guys fix it, that gets applied to the actual fix, so I'm not getting charged extra or
Correct.
Whatever. It's part of the fix.
If it's a 5-hour job, you've already paid 1 hour, you will only be liable for the remaining 4 hours of the job.
Oh, cool. And then if I choose to not do it because maybe I don't have the funds right now, then it's just the hour for the diagnosis.
Correct.
And at least I know what's wrong and basically safety-wise what I'm liable for.
Yes, sir.
Side of that. Okay, well, everything sounds good. I'll just leave my keys and stuff with you. And you think I should wait, or?
Something like this, at this time of day, I would recommend just leaving with me, and I'll have one of my technicians get on it first thing in the morning for you.
Okay, it is at the end of the day, so yeah. Okay. No loaners or anything right now?
Unfortunately, I don't have any.
Okay. All right, well, I'll just call my wife to come get me, and we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
All right, thank you. So now we're out in the shop. What do I do? All right, so I'm out in the shop now. What I'm going to do is pull the customer's vehicle in, right? Okay, so I got the car in my stall right now, right? I just took it for a test drive, and I do hear something coming from the front left of this vehicle right here. So I happen to already know what's going on with this vehicle. I used it for testing purposes, right? It's a Ford Flex. There's a loud growling sound coming from this front wheel. I drove it out on the road and verified it. I put the vehicle in the air and actually let it go by my ear. I'll clip that video in here so you guys can hear it. And the wheel bearing is howling like a son of a gun. But while I was here, that's what the customer came in for, right? While I was here, there's a slew of other things that's wrong with this vehicle. So this is a sheet that we'll use right here. This is for all of our X-Time stuff. This is for everything that goes through as we're inspecting the vehicle. It comes to this, and it lays everything safety-wise out for us. Here's what we're going through when we're looking at this. Bulbs and lights, pass. Windshield washer spray, wiper operation, wiper blades. There was actually a nozzle that was disconnected and it was blowing fluid right down on top of the engine. What did we do and not charge the customer? We went ahead and resecured that without charging the customer anything and put the nozzle and stuff back on. Instead of ordering a whole new set, we were able to push it back on, and we used just a little bit of adhesive to keep it on there, and then tested it over and over and over again, and everything's completely fine. As we go down the checklist here, you'll see that there's what does the windshield condition look like, the upholstery, the emergency brake, the horn, the fuel tank, gas cap, is it all busted up and cracked and stuff like that? Are there any chips and stuff in the windshield that we may get blamed for, or that may be a danger to the customer? Okay, so we don't see anything there. Window condition, so they have something written up under there, probably because of the washer nozzles, right? Then it goes down here, the battery terminals, cable mountings, condition of battery tests, fluids, oil, power steering, engine air filter, belts, tensioners, cooling system hoses, radiator core, air conditioning condenser. Look at it, check, make sure nothing's crushed or collapsed or anything like that. Make sure the customer's getting good airflow through there. Let's also see what else here is. Shock absorber, suspension, steering gear, muffler, engine oil and fluid leaks, drive shafts, constant velocity boots, U-joints, transmission linkage, transmission, differential transfer case, check fluid levels while we're there. Fuel lines and connections, fuel tank band, the straps underneath, are they busted or coming off? A lot of vehicles are. They're rotted out and they're about to fall out of the car. Inspect nuts and bolts underneath the chassis. Some of the bolts for the suspension and stuff rot, like in the subframe for like this, the older Escapes, like the 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12 Escapes, the subframe will literally rot in two and the bolts will rust right out of it. It's a poor design. Toyota had the same thing with their frames and stuff back in the day. Then we look here at tread depth measurements at the tires. We got the left front and right front at 6 and the left rear and right rear at 5. So they're getting low, but they're not dangerous yet. The rears are in the yellow. They're getting closer to the minimum. Spare tire, NA. What are the tire pressures? They're all set at 35. Go on down here to the brake linings. The fronts are at 4 and the rears are at 1, but the fronts are so bad and so rusty that there are layers upon layers upon layers of rust, and the pad is actually sitting inside the groove where it's making contact now. The rears are metal on metal to where the metal backing for there being no pad there is literally in the surface of the rotor. Okay? So then we'll move up here and we'll see what our recommendations were. A front brake job is an hour and a half. A rear brake job is an hour and a half. The strut mount on the front here, I'll put it in the video, it's literally popping as you turn the wheel. Go bung, 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 bung. You can grab the spring and you can actually feel the strut popping right here. The alignment, when you do all this stuff and you're ripping suspension apart and stuff like this, we recommend an alignment because things are going to be pulled out of place. Wheel bearing, the howling, growling sound. So if I was to go ahead and get the job, they wouldn't be charged a diagnostic fee. Engine air filter replacement. This engine air filter is like really sooty and there's debris and oil and stuff on the surface of the oil filter. So regardless if you can see through it or not, it's time for it to be changed. You know, that's kind of one of those things where it's a fixed $24.95. You're not really paying that much more for it. You can actually go to AutoZone and buy a filter for 13 bucks, 14 bucks, or you can come to the dealership and let us install it and you're not paying that much more and a technician's actually doing the job for you. Once you get to a spot where there's something like this going on, then you have to actually wake up and realize that this is not Quick Lane doing this anymore. When there's this much of a concern, it gets bumped over to the technician and the technician handles everything from start to finish. So this is why we go through these safety checklists, because this vehicle is literally falling apart from front to back in areas. This is what has to be done. You would normally think in a situation like this that, oh, you're just throwing parts at it, you're just trying to get stuff out of the customers. No, I already have a video. I'm going to shoot that video in here right now. I'm going to clip it in so you can see how bad everything is, and you can see the process that we have to go through to get this job done safely, because if we let this customer leave here with no recommendations and they get into an accident, it's on us. We can get sued for that. So this is why you don't listen to the Scotty Kilmers of the internet base that are saying Ford dealerships and all these other dealerships are ripoffs. They really don't know what they're talking about. Yes, people have had bad experiences, but that doesn't mean every dealership is going to be that way. We have a criteria that we have to meet for safety, cover your ass reasons, and that's what we do. Here's the video. All right, go ahead. Pick up speed. Don't turn the wheels yet. That rotor's done, or that bearing's done. That one's good. All right, you can slowly come to a stop. Come to a stop, put the vehicle in park. Let go of the brakes. Put the vehicle in park, let go of the brakes. Wow, this is like really hard to... Yeah, these are done. They're like... There's like no pad left at all. If you look and you see Valvoline Max Life, it replaces Mercon and Dexron. Let's check this one over here. Oh, wow. That one's metal on metal. There ain't no pad left. Yeah, it's done. And it's hard to turn as well. It should just, wow. Yep, those are done. Look at that big groove right through the center of that. It's been wearing like that for a while. And look up here. The outsides look good. but let's see the inside. Oh wow. It's got good contact surface, but those rotors are really screwed up. There's just layers upon layers upon layers of rust. And it looks like the pad life is down to about 4 to 5 millimeter. I mean, the condition of these rotors and pads, I would say replace them anyway. They're junk. All the cooling fins inside, the release vents are falling apart. That's no good. Motor's dry. Doesn't look like anything's leaking. See the axle, nothing's leaking. Let's see, check. Tie rod ends are tight. Lower ball joint's good. Lower ball joint's good. What about tie rod in and out? That's good. So that's good. And the rears as well. They're tight. What about links? I'm gonna push up and down on the links. Or tight. Shocks ain't loose, or the shocks ain't leaking. That's good. Check the front links real quick. Sometimes you gotta get a pry bar in here and pull on it as well. It's tight. I'm gonna let you down some and then we're gonna check the popping from that strut top. Sometimes you gotta put a little weight on the vehicle to actually hear what problem is going on with it. So, okay, lift this down. All right, just turn nice and easy. Oh yeah. Try to make it louder. Yeah, that strut mount is shot. This one not so much, not as bad, but you're starting to feel it just a little bit. So both of these should really be done. Yeah. Can you hear it in there? Turn the AC down. Seriously. Oh yeah, that's that driver's side strut mount popping. Pop, 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 pop. Well, all right, thank you, appreciate it. So this is just some of the things that we go through when we check these vehicles out. And a lot of times it's because customers, we recommend things early on, and then they think we're lying to them or they don't need something, and they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait, and they listen to the Scotty Kilmers of the world. And eventually, when they come in, they got 3 hours worth of strut work, probably $600. Well, it depends if they're going to get quick struts or not, or if they actually want us to just put the strut mount on it. You know, then you could be running $250 to $300 a strut to do new front struts or quick struts, depending on where you get them from. If you get the high-end stuff or the low-end stuff. And now we're going to have to go through with the brakes, hoping that the calipers and stuff aren't all messed up. This could be a really, really expensive job just on the minimal of what I showed you so far, safety-wise. You know, this is what goes into it, guys. We're not always trying to scam you. We're actually checking your vehicle out from front to back. Some people have had bad experiences, but most dealers are not out there to just aimlessly steal money from people. We're actually trying to make a honest living, and you know, just make it through the day, trying to do the best that we can. And most guys are pretty honest. It's when people wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and things snowball and snowball and snowball, and it starts costing a ton of money. Anyway, most of this will be covered under ESP, but this is just for me. This is just me trying to walk you through what I have to go through when our customer comes in. One thing could lead into 10 different things. And then the customer's like, well, I only came here for one thing. Well, I have to check this other stuff to let you know what's going on. Especially if you have an aftermarket warranty or an ESP, use it. Get it taken care of. Y'all be blessed.